Hello, this is also a CST basic tutorial, and here we are going to discuss how you can create different types of structures like bricks, cylinders, or if you want to create pentagons, hexagon, how you can create that using this modeling structures. So let's see that. So if you have to create an antenna, it will be having dielectric and patch. So it will be consisting of a brick-like structure. So if you click on it, and you can either click like this and create by just drawing it here, or if you click it here and press escape, you can see it here. If you press escape, it will show the dialog box. So you can always use this dialog box. It will help us to use the parameterization. So this parameterization will be helping us in later stages if you have to optimize the parameter to get some particular results. So here you can name the structure that we have to create. So let's give the name as dielectric, and it is always better to provide the parameter like something like D is the total width and L total length and L is the width, something like that. And if it is the height, you can provide some parameter for that height like this. So this is used to create the brick-like structures. So if you create this one, you will be having a brick structure, and sorry. So if you want to change the dimension of the brick, you can use these parameters. So here I haven't provided plus L by 2 to minus L by 2. That's why it does not have much length. So now we have created a brick-like structure. So if you go into any of these structures, you will be able to see one parameter known as the segment. So this segment will help us to create different types of structures. So let's start with this cylinder. So if you press escape, you will get this dialog box. Maybe you can give some name, and this is the inner and outer radius. So this can be used to create any cylindrical structures or any structures like some toroid with some inner radius. So let's start with without this inner radius. So let's use an outer radius of 20 and extender y sender 0 0 and having some thickness h. Okay, so if you go for preview, you can see this is the structure, how it is getting created. So as I don't have to make any like modifications, I just put none, and maybe I will hide this dielectric. So this is how the cylindrical structure can be formed. So this is how the cylindrical structure can be formed. So if you inside the cylinder, if you are going to provide some inner radius like 10, it will form as a ring. So this is how you can create the ring. But if you want to modify this shape, there is one parameter known as segments. So if the segment number is 0, it will be like a cylinder. So let's start like use the segment 3 and see how the structure will be look like. So now you can see that it is a triangular in shape, and if you don't use the inner radius, you can see it's like a perfect triangle. So these type of modification can be used to create different structures. So maybe I will copy this thing. So I just copy. Okay, and I'm trying to modify this again. So if you are going to increase the number like 4, it will look like a rectangle. You can see how it is look like. And if it is 5, it will be modified into a structure having the 5 sides. That is the pentagon. So like this, you can modify the structure for different shapes like this. Okay. So similarly, you can also use this torus structure, and I'm just going to create it. This also has the parameter known as segments. So if you use the segment name like 3, you can see it will be converted into a triangle shape, and based on the number of segments, you can create different structures. So this is how you can use this solid structures. So this is a cone. Cone also work in the same way. So if you want, so this is a cone. So if you need a perfect cone, you can use this bottom radius. So if you put it 0, you can see that it is like a perfect cone. Here also you have the parameter segments. This can be used to create different types of structures. So here you can see that this has 6 sides, 1 2 3 4 5 6. So this is how you can use the cone for creating different structures. Similarly, if you have the cylinder, you can use to create a solid sphere. So not cylinder, solid sphere. So here also you can use the parameter like segments to create different shapes. So now you can see it has the 4 sides like this. So these are different structures that you can be used to modify different types of structures. This modeling also has a section known as the like curves. So if it is not like a 3D geometries, you can use to create different types of structures, and you can provide some thickness to make it like a 3D structure. So let's try with rectangle. So here you can see that it's a curve. So I'm not going to modify anything. So here you can see that in curve section a new curve is created. So you can make it solid using these type of extrude face. So as it is a curve, you can use this function extrude curve. So if you use this, you can see if you want to provide some thickness. Maybe if I want to provide some thickness of 1 mm, so you can see that it is modified into a thick structure. This one you can use to modify the shape. Like if you want to make any changes on this profiling, you can use this trapper and twist angle. So maybe thickness, we can provide more thickness so that it will be easy to identify this tapering impact. So if you have to twist off this structure, you can use this twist angle. So here you can see that the geometry is modified. So this is how you can create different types of structures if you want to create 3D geometries. And if you have to create any like any polygons which is not as per any geometries like anything, you can use this polygon, and based on that you can create structures like this, and you can see how these x and y coordinates are formed. So for each of these points you will be getting these x and y coordinates, and you can also provide thickness to the structure. So you have to just click on the polygon, because as it is like a curve, you can click on the polygon and you can use this extrude face, so you can provide some thickness to the structure. So you can see how you can easily create different types of structures. using these geometries.